so I know in advance. Like, is there a team that you supported growing up? Like, are you a fan of a team?
Always, always. One team I never change, man.
Oh yeah, who's that?
That's Barcelona.
Oh, okay,
Huh?
good, good. We can,
Because Ronaldinho just makes soccer so fun, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And I just love watching him.
All right. Well, good.
And
That's
from back then, from even when he switched and he go all these different places, I just Ronaldinho. I mean, that Barcelona is always my team because all the guys, Messi and them guys, it's just it was a solid team, man.
yeah. So, how did you? I mean, I know I've read enough, and from our initial text back in the day, like I know you played growing up, but like, what was your relationship with the game? Like, you played cricket too. I read somewhere, but in terms of football, how did it all start for you?
You know, we pretty much played two main sports in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Was cricket and football. And where I grew up, we didn't have much, but just play outside. We didn't have no playground to go to. We just kick soccer ball around. We call it football around and play cricket. So that's all I know. And in school, I started dominant sports in school too. So I pretty much play for every school I've been to and also club teams. And we do a lot of like corner leagues. It's just like we get together and we like put money and bet and get trophy, all that stuff growing up. That's all we know. Does football.
Yeah. I mean, so Clarendon, is that where you're from? Did I read that
Yep,
right?
turning. Yep.
So, what was your connection to like the game at large? Like you mentioned before, Ronaldinho and Barcelona, but how did you connect from playing on the street to the game at large?
You know, I was pretty much born into it. That's all I've seen and known, like growing up. So I said is that the only thing we have to do is just play football or cricket. And then when I started school, I joined my school team. And then I'm like, okay, school is off season now, so I need a club team. And I
Yeah,
started playing under 15, then under 16, under 17 until, I move up to the Division 1, you know what I mean? So that's how that started. Just from a little kid kicking we used to put like, stuff like a bottle or something and just kicking around, just whatever we can find a kick, we kick around. That's what we do in Jamaica. You probably
yeah,
see videos of kids just like they find a juice box, stuff it with some stuff, and that's a soccer ball. You know what I mean? We
right.
just, yeah.
Yeah, we've had a number of players on FC Buffalo from Jamaica, a couple that I'm still in touch with, including Akeen Shackelford, and he would tell me the stories about just doing
Oh,
anything.
Akeem,
His Akin,
Akeem.
Akean. Yeah.
I believe I met him. We were playing a league at the Sailings
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
He was on a team there. Their team is good. Their team is organized. Them boys are solid too. And Asani.
Of course. Yeah. Asani
Yeah.
played for us. I have, this is strange, but this is literally, he gave me, this is his jersey from the year that they won USL championship.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's funny. I met you when I first moved there a while back. I went to a game at Canisius and he was there. And then I just saw him last year at the Delaware Park. He's
Yeah.
over there, them little kids. Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the best. And the Kareem Gray was at Canisius as well. You're in your late 20s or are you 30 now?
30,
30.
33.
Okay. So how do you get to Buff State? Well, I mean, you were at ECC first, right? But how do you get to Buffalo, New York? You had family here,
Yeah, my sister was living there, so that's how I end up here.
and how old were you when you came here for school?
I was 20.
Wow, what was that
Yeah.
like? I mean, how did it take you? Obviously, it's going to take time to adjust because of the weather, but having your sister here had to help. How quickly did you feel like this could be a home?
You know, after the first 2 years, I was trying to figure it out. Like, man, this place is cold. So I came here in the midst of winter, like February, snowstorm. I'm like, what am I thinking coming to Buffalo? Like, I have an option to choose just San Diego, and I choose Buffalo instead because I wanted to see something different. I want to see some snow.
Yeah, it's
And let me
different.
tell
That's
you,
different.
yeah, the first 2 years, I'm like, man, this is crazy because I was riding bicycle for 2 years, right?
Right.
I used to ride to Denny's to and from, work and school at ECC, and socks wet, my shoes wet. It wasn't a good feeling, man.
Yeah.
Them buses passing you, splashing you. It's just like, wow, it's just stuff I see in the movies.
Well, Darian, what I loved reading and following your progress, because it first came to mind. I knew a couple of players from the Bills, and I would see these pictures of you cooking for them, and so I look back and I would track back and I'd read more, and like I read an article of Buff States writing about you. You grinded, man. Like you still grind, but like you mentioned
Yeah,
the bus, but like ECC to Buff State. You mentioned you were at Denny's. I think it said for 2 or 3 years.
two
Uh,
years.
yeah. Then private chefs. You get. How does this go from where you were learning to cook back home in Jamaica to having two restaurants in the Plating Society in Bratz Hill? And how does that journey, the work you put in, were you always able to focus on the end game, or did you get discouraged along the way?
You know, it wasn't easy. Let me
No.
say that. It wasn't easy because coming here to the US, it's funny because I was doing a dinner party last night at the Petty Society, and the folks are saying that they have a Jamaican neighbor, but they can't understand when the guy talks because he talks so fast and his accent is so strong.
Yeah.
That was me when I first came here. Nobody could ever understand what I'm saying. That was the biggest, I don't want to say discouragement for me, but that never stopped me. I still show up and I try to speak slower and it's funny because a client asked me the other night. I'm glad my staff was there and heard it too because they couldn't believe that come from his mouth. He
Uh-oh.
said to me, "Can you speak normal?" Because we're talking about acting, I want to be an actor and all that stuff, right? He said, "Can you talk normal though?" I'm like, "What do you mean normal?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you talk like us? I'm like, it's crazy because that's what I used to get when I first moved here. People said, "Why can't you talk like us?" I'm like, because I'm not from here.
Right.
This is how everybody talk where I'm from, you know what I mean?
I don't like hearing that. It's
Well,
funny.
he says they don't understand or realize what they're saying. It's like,
Right.
well, you want to be an actor. Can you speak English, like proper English? Right? No, this is how I talk. I can't change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I remember when Akeen, who I mentioned, was one of the guys that I first got to know really well. Like we had Asani around and Richie Wilson, because a lot of them came here for college to play soccer, and so I got to know them.
I don't mean to cut you, but do you know Melvin
Melvin Blair, he played at Canisius as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Melvin and I believe it's Akeem too. That they're both Jamaican. They play at the same time.
Yeah. So what killed me though is I would understand when they were talking to me, but then they would I might say it wrong, but when it would send you messages, sometimes it would slip into, is it patois? Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
I don't have a prayer at that, my friend. That was a tough thing to understand.
Yeah, because I've known them because I used to go to their games because they're Jamaicans and doing all this great stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. So I hang out with Melvin a lot when he was here. I don't know where he is right now. You know what I mean?
No, I don't either. I mean, when you played, what position did you play?
Defense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can always use a defender, man. And you're not small. I've seen you. So we send a few messages, and then the other day I saw you at the gym. By the way, you dress really well even at the gym. Like I'm there, I'm there in my hoodie and my soccer shorts, and I'm like, oh, I know that's Darian. Like there's no question, just no question. I'm like, I'll message him later. But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's one of those things. It's an image thing. You know what I mean? Like it's the same in the kitchen too. I gotta keep it clean. You know what I mean? But I'm looking to get back into it. Like if there's like a league, a Sunday league or something, I can, because I'm off on Sundays. I would love to still go out there and play because I'm still in good physical shape, you know what I mean? And I still feel great. And just get me on the team, man.
We'll find you. We'll find you a place. I mean, the BDSL plays on Sunday, and they got 6 divisions. So I'm sure there's someone who could use. I mean, let me guess. Are you 6'2"? Are you bigger than that?
6'2". 6'2".
Yeah, look at me. I got that eyeball from scouting. No, yeah. I think there's guys out there looking for a 6'2" center back. I think so.
Yeah. And I sweep clean too, you know what I mean? Like I don't play around there, you know. I gotta rough them up a little bit, you know. But back to your initial question, like
Sure.
from where I started to where I'm at now, it's a lot of hard work. You gotta outwork people too, right?
Right.
Because for me, a black Jamaican in this, especially Buffalo, you have to constantly like prove to people who you are and what you can do.
Right.
Until they could overlook my work anymore. They're like, oh, this guy is doing what he's doing. He's breaking barriers. Like, he's making a name. Let's give him a shot, you know what I mean? But I got a good, solid group of people around me, too, who's helping me every day to go forward. Because my success is not just only me, you know what I mean? It's all the people around me who is pushing me and supporting me every day.
Right.
So I got my wife. She's with me every day, just like grinding as well too. She's the behind the scene though. And I got over 40 team member too who always just do what they do so I can do what I do, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much how I get this for, just by family support too, because you know everybody take a role, right? Like the in-laws always watching the kids so I can go and hustle, you know what I mean? So everybody is like always there to support.
Well, it's funny when you read about like these massive soccer clubs overseas, and someone will be like, "Oh, well, they're going to the Champions League final and they're bringing 200 staffers," because people see the 11 guys on the field or girls on the field, and they see the 6 coaches and they see the trainers, but they don't realize the people who are there every day, whether it be, washing the kits or making sure the tickets get out there or separating, which charity things they're going to do. It's a massive undertaking. And my brother went to Johnson and Wales. He's an excellent chef. And my sister-in-law went there too.
Yeah.
And we would talk often. The hardest lessons to learn seem to be all the prep work and how the little things matter, right? So if you're making a meal and there's 6 ingredients, but the rice isn't made right, maybe the rice is step 1. But if it's not made right, so I get it. So from the food to the back room, your team matters a huge deal.
Yeah.
So it's not unlike a soccer team. I get that. And how many of them have been with you for a long time too? Obviously, your wife has. You met her here, right?
Yeah, when I was at ECC.
Yeah, so like how many of your team have been with you through this rise?
Well, this rise pretty much started happening like since COVID.
Right.
Because I was at a regular job at Fisher Price. I didn't have any of this stuff. I was just a general manager and executive chef for them. When COVID hit, that's when I started my own thing. So I would say 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when all that happened, you know what I mean? So, and I just grind over the 5 years just nonstop because I saw a gap I could fill, right? Restaurants were closed. I'm like, these people, they still need good food, you know what I mean? So that's when I start going in home to do dinner parties, and that's where that take off, you know?
How did I'm sure people watching this are going to be interested, and I know you've told the story a million times, but how did you end up getting linked into the Bills? I mean, I would see Vontae Davis and Josh Allen and Gabe Davis, and I think you did stuff with Diggs as well. Like, how did that start?
Oh, the first name you mentioned, Vontae Davis.
Yeah.
So I was working at this restaurant, Pretty McCafe in Hamburg, healthy restaurant. So he came in looking for healthy food. I didn't know who the guy was. I don't watch football, right? I play soccer. I play great football, right?
I bet you watch football now, though.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, that's a different story. Because they're like, did you watch a game? I'll be like, yeah. Oh, you never say nothing. I'm like, I don't know enough to talk about football with you guys. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mackenzie's always give me crap. Remember Isaiah McKenzie back
Yes,
in the
yes.
day?
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
personality.
Let me tell you. So Vontae walked in. I was just chatting with the guy because I was excited to see someone who looked like me in Hamburg.
Okay.
I was the only black man to walk around for 2 years. I'm like, oh crap, there's not much black folks here. So I was just chatting with him. I didn't know him play football, and he came back the next day, asking me his personal chef. I'm like, I never done it before, but I'll try. Then I started cooking for him all his healthy food. He started loving it. It's like he didn't know healthy food could taste so good. And when he left and he retired, he went back to Miami, flying me there to do events for him. And I meet all his players from his events, and they start flying to wherever they live to do events for them too. So that's how that all started. And then when Diggs came to the Bills, he hit me up on Instagram, asked me if I could be his personal chef too. But at first I tell him no because I'm like, I know the work that goes into it.
Right.
And I'm like, sometimes the work you put in, you don't get that money back for it. You know what I mean? So I tell him a price. I think he's going to say no. And he said, that's cool. I'm like, wow. Okay then. And that's how that started, which I'm glad I did because I meet so much people from him. So all them boys, then Josh started coming for dinner, Gabe Davis, all the guys I meet from Diggs' house, you know what I mean? Because I was there with him every night. And then that's how that started. Then I started doing meal prep for those guys. So when Gabe got his own house, he started having dinners at his house now. Then I would go there. When I can't go there, I send other chefs to go there too. So then I started finding chefs to do in-home, like personal chef for some of these guys, you know what I mean? So I'll find chefs and like send them to our account. Like, okay, this is your job. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for this guy until the season end, you know what I mean? And so that I don't have to personally do it because it's a lot, you know what I mean?
I do. How do you, what goes into your thought process on making the food? And I'll take it to the next level. I was looking over the menu. I've been trying to get out to Pratt's Hill because of the Scotch pepper sauce. So how do you find how much that you're bringing from your background and what you like to do versus how much the appetite is there? Because you got some items on the menu that are daring for this area, right? Like it's something different. But then there's stuff on the menu that just you read and you go, I've had that, but I want to have it made by that guy. So how do you decide that mix when you're starting your own restaurant?
You know, that's a good question. It's very tricky. People think it's easy because it's like, I know what I know from my Jamaican roots, right? And when I came here, I learned all these different cuisine from school and also my studies and like watching videos and reading cookbooks. I'm like, how do I make a menu when I know to make all this stuff?
Yeah.
So I take the traditional Jamaican stuff and it's a Jamaican fusion pretty much. So I mix the Jamaican with the French, the Italian, the Asian, and that's how these dishes were born because I just mixed those. Everything I know, just like a little twist of this, like the oxtail ragu, you know what I mean? The oxtail meat we know and love, we put it in with fresh pasta. We got curry goat ravioli. It's a curry goat that we know and love, put in a ravioli, you know what I mean? So that's how that come about.
No, I get it, man. I'm Italian, so I immediately understand that. It's funny. It's a different thing, obviously, and I'm talking food, so I'm an idiot. So I'm not trying to be an expert, but it's a little bit like you can put a lot of stuff in pasta and it feels like something new and fresh. And so that is really kind of fusion, right? Like Asian fusion was the first name I remember hearing that phrase associated within food. So it makes sense to do what you did, but it's still the work to make sure people know, hey, I'm going to a Jamaican restaurant and that's going to be different. But there's some items here that are safe for me too if I don't be too crazy, right?
Yes, because that's always the thing because you're not gonna please everybody, right?
Right.
People gonna be like, "Oh, there's nothing for, like." I believe last week some lady said there's nothing on the menu she can eat because she don't know any of this stuff. I'm like, well, try something then. Like, there's Caesar salad, but it's not just a regular Caesar; it's a jerk chicken Caesar. You know what I mean?
You like
So
chicken?
everything had a Jamaican influence on it. But some people just they like what they like, and that's what they like. You can't tell them otherwise, but which is okay too.
Well, it's not for them then.
Yeah. So I
I
just want to do something different, you know what I mean? That's what it comes down to.
So let's talk football. You mentioned before Ronaldinho kind of brought you to Barcelona as a fan. Have
I
you?
always like Arsenal too because of Henry. It's
Okay.
just I feel like it's the players for me, not just like the organization, the team is just the players, you know.
Yeah, and you like the flair guys apparently, which is funny
I
because
can't
you're a defender. I was a forward, not very good, but my favorite players were all center backs. It was almost like, oh, I can't do that, so I admire these guys.
You know what's crazy? I never think about it that way because all these guys, they're strikers, right?
Yeah,
And I'm a defender. You think I would like it? I don't really, I don't see, I don't know. There's like a defender there that I really like, admire, and say I like how this guy play. It's
yeah.
always the strikers. I guess I like what they do. I don't know. I never think about it that way.
I don't. Well, I've just figured that's how it has to be. I think also I'm not very tall. You know, I'm like 5'9" on a good day, and so I think it's a little bit like, all right, if I do go back there, for every 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" defender there's somebody 6'3", 6'4", and I can't. I don't have. I'm not winning in the aerials, right? Like
Yeah,
the nasty streak, I can do that, no problem. But like I go up against you, and I'm gonna have a problem because you just grab my head. But no, like I think that's a part of it, and I honestly I think that's one of the reasons that going to a fine restaurant is a big deal to people, and I think it's why going to a Barcelona match is a big deal to people. There's capturing the element of something that you can't do, or
yeah,
you know how much training goes into it.
yes,
Like to me, yeah, that's kind of it. So you keep following, but Barca for you was more like it was Ronaldinho into Messi, like that era.
yeah.
You've just kind of stuck with them.
I got just gonna stuck it. Because Ronaldinho is just like, and Brazil too is always like my workup team.
Yeah.
Because Ronaldinho is on the team too. You got Roberto Carlos over there too. You got
Oh
all those
man.
guys. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You got Ronaldo. Like that's just a solid team, man. Solid. And then yeah, it's just more like the players. It's just like Ronaldinho is just so funny. He's always laughing. He's always making fun. He can take the entire team on. It's just like that's just my. So who's your team?
Oh man. I mean, I guess if I had to say one, I would say I'm not to cheat, but the U.S. national team. I just kind of when I first started watching the game when I was much younger, I would watch Italy because that's where my father's family's from, and
Yeah,
so I naturally I was drawn more to the World Cup. I mean, I'm older than you, so we're talking the 1990s. You're seeing more of those games on TV than club games. So once the club games got on TV, I started rooting for Newcastle, but I still support them. But I have also been a player-based guy, man. Like to me, it's that player who captures your imagination. Messi for me was a big deal because that was art for me. And people always do the
yeah,
Messi or Ronaldo. And look, I get it. They're both great. They're both two of the best players of all time. But Ronaldo for me was a little bit like a machine,
yeah,
engineered. He works his butt off. He is 0% body fat. But Messi
yeah,
was like you can't replicate who he is. The way
yeah,
he thinks. The way I mean, he's shorter than me, and
yeah.
he has to get around. The way the English commentators they always say about center backs like yourself, the tall trees, like the way you've got to navigate in the forest. To
I
me,
still can't believe Messi is still playing at the level he's playing right now. I'm like,
yeah,
because he played with all the greats. Ronaldinho is old as hell now. He's not doing much. Like all those guys, Roberto Carlos is not playing. Ronaldo is not playing. I'm like, he's still out there killing it. I'm like, how? You know what I mean?
it's special, man. I mean, I hate to say this because I'm a Bills fan, but you look at Tom Brady, you look at, I mean, even LeBron in basketball. These players who
Yeah,
it's special. I bet this connects to being a chef too. So follow me here. You have to be good, okay,
yeah,
and you have to have discipline.
yeah,
Those two are important, but you also have to care. And I see this a lot in South. I've seen a lot of very talented players, And I'm like, well, you might not make it. And the reason you won't make it isn't because you're good enough. It's because you don't care enough. And that's okay, right? A lot of
Yeah.
musicians out there who are very talented, they don't care enough to hold up in their house for, you know, every day, all day, every day. But the ones who care that much, like there has to
Yeah.
be something driving you on a day you don't have it. Even you, Darian, I bet there are days that you're cooking and you're preparing and it's just I'm not at my best. But what you fall back on is that
Yeah.
you give up, you know what. You
Yeah.
and I think with a Messi, it's just and a Ronaldo and all these guys. The difference is that they care. And
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? And I think it's got to be the same for someone like you.
You
There's
know, it's
got to
one
be
of
a
those.
reason. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
getting sprayed with snow by buses. There's got to be a reason you keep doing that.
Yes. Because it's like, it's one of those things. These guys are born great. They have to work for that, right?
Right.
Each and every day, they gotta go to practice. They gotta do all this stuff to get to that point. So when you're that level, I'm like, I respect that because I know the work you put in to get to that level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not many people is willing to get up and put in that work every day to get to that level.
Right.
It's the same when I meet like a talented chef. I'm like, you know what? I respect you because you didn't wake up with this.
Right.
You have to work to get to this point. You know what I mean? So I respect that.
I'll finish up with this. Who is the chef or the chefs that you have drawn or learned the most from, whether they be local people or people you read about or whatever? Who have you, I don't want to say modeled yourself after, but do you have sort of inspirations inside of food?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
You're probably not even gonna guess this one, but Gordon Ramsay.
Really?
People talk a lot of crap on him because of what they're seeing, like the shows he does, but that guy can cook.
Yeah.
I learned so much technique and cooking from him. Just like when I first came here, I was looking for somebody I want to be like his personality in camera, like the way he plates, his passion for food. And he's the biggest name in food right now. Like he's Gordon Ramsay, you know what I mean? So I always want to be like that guy.
And I guess I'd be silly if I didn't ask this. You probably get asked it all the time. But I ask chefs this all the time. How do you feel about the show everybody watches, The Bear?
The show The Bear, right? You know, it's for the first two episodes. I didn't like it.
Okay.
It was just too much going on.
It felt like a kitchen.
I personally don't treat people that way.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to watch it. But then as the seasons go on, I'm like, this is amazing.
Okay.
Like I get to fall in love with it as it goes later on in the season. My wife and I would sit there watching, we could wait for the next one, you know what I mean? There was just so much that I'm learning and so much like when it comes down to hospitality and service. Once the business was up and running, that one is like that's when it started. But when in the beginning phase and people yelling and screaming and cussing and throwing stuff, I don't work like that. So it's hard for me to support watching that, you know what I mean?
No, I get it.
But there's some really good scenes and some good episodes in there.
Awesome. So before we let you go, you tell us where can we learn more about your business. Obviously, I know very much there's chefdarianbryan.com, but what else do people need to check out when they're in Buffalo?
Well, I'm in Larkin, so all my restaurants in Larkin. So Brad's is a 2-in-1 concept. So in the daytime, we get the fast, casual Jamaican takeout. And at night, we have the upscale fine dining. So it's like best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
And Plating Society is a private dining. It's also here in Larkin, too. And you can find me in social media, Chef Darian Bryan. It's Instagram, and that's about it. I'm here.
Oh, before I forget, because we share a partner, sponsor, whatever you want to say. After I told them you were coming on, the people at Bison Dip told me how much they love you. So,
no way.
Yeah, they're on the sleeve of our jersey this year.
That's crazy.
They were saying, "Oh, you got a podcast. You got to get Darian Bryan on." I'm like, "I've already talked to him about coming on." And so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can I be a sponsor of your guys' situation? Oh, I want to be a part of that. Like, how does that work? We can talk after this though, like, oh, sponsorship work and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Moving
Yeah.
forward.
No, I mean, I just want some Scotch pepper sauce. We'll call it a day. No.
I got you. I got you.